Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing? Welcome to my YouTube channel or to a podcast, Life and Transitions Experts. However, you're listening to this or coming to this, I hope this message meets you and greets you in good spirits and all that great stuff. Courtney Rollins here, a life and transitions expert, certified probate expert, and senior life transition specialist. All that means I help folks who are dealing with the house and dealing with stuff when they're attempting to either go through a probate process in Durham, North Carolina, or perhaps they're trying to find options and means to help provide long-term care, and they're trying to figure out what options they have available through one of their biggest assets, their house. How can they use that to be able to support their loved one? It's all encompassing. Basically, I'm the house and stuff guy, and I try to provide some caring solutions and options for folks that are experiencing these situations. Today, that's what we're going to look at. We're going to look at the cost, three things that impact the cost of long-term care. So you may be in a situation where you or a loved one is attempting to figure out what are your options out there and what is the cost. So let's take a dive. Let's dive in there. So according to AARP International, every day in the U.S. alone, there are 10,000 people who turn 65 each day. That means many of us are living longer and are expecting, these numbers are expected to double in the next several decades, with about 88 million people, that's 20% of the population, will be over 65 by 2050. And this is awesome. People are living longer, get to connect and commune and just have fuller life. And with the aging population, that means more requirements are there for like long-term care. Great book, Ben Rayo's Paying for Long-Term Care, which is essentially my study guide, is an essential guide to understanding and funding senior care. He shares a Genworth 2020 Genworth cost of care survey. And let me make sure I have that right. I might be saying the word wrong. I want to make sure I say this correctly. What page am I on? I want to check the source. Yeah, Genworth. All right. Genworth cost of care survey surveyed the median annual cost. This is median across the United States. All right. So statistics of care at home. If you have a home care homemaker service provider, the median cost across the nation is $53,768 a year for home care services. Now, home care health aid services, perhaps there's more required as far as health and medicine and supervision of distribution of medicine and other things. Slightly higher median, $54,912 a year. Now, when we start going into senior living spaces, there are different types of senior living spaces, but let's continue to look at the statistics here. For adult day healthcare, so adult day healthcare, this cost is about $19,240 a year across the nation. Assisted living communities, the cost is $51,600 across the nation, $51,600 a year. If you have a semi-private room, however, that cost goes up. Semi-private nursing home is about $93,075 a year. So higher level of service, higher level of needs, higher the cost. And then a private room nursing home is $105,000 and $105,850 per year. So there are three factors that are really going to impact the cost, because again, this is just the median across the nation. So three factors. One, obviously, is the level of care. The more required, the more supervision, the more services that are required, such as like food prep or medication supervision, daily exercising, bathing. These level of care, the higher level of care, is going to cost more, which makes sense. Also, location or geography. If you're in a more populated urban space or city like Atlanta or Raleigh, Durham, or even larger spaces like some of the LA areas and things of that nature, Houston, Texas, these are going to cost more. You're going to have a higher premium than those are outside in more rural or suburban even areas. So that's something to factor in. Durham, North Carolina, cost is going to be higher than, say, Roxborough, North Carolina. And then the third thing to think about is the amenities. So social activities, the internet, the actual size of the room. Are there pet involved in pet fees? These all impact the overall cost. So the level of care, the location, and the amenities. Now, when folks face with the challenge of figuring out how to pay for long-term care, many families do look at one of the biggest assets that many folks have, and that's their home. And sometimes the best solution is to sell the property. And if you're looking for a quick and convenient as is solution so that you can get your family or your loved one care quicker and sooner, then folks like Estate Pro Service or other professionals, such professional home buyers such as myself, are definitely folks I would recommend that you take a look at and consider, because they can help you come up with some options. And one of those options, again, may be going to a cash buyer such as the folks at State Pro Service. And definitely, if you want any support or help anywhere across the nation, I would highly recommend that you go into the site and click on our free consultation. I'd love to point you in the right direction. I'm connected to a nationwide group of vetted estate professionals and professionals who are able to help folks plan properly for long-term care and see some of the solutions that may be available to you. All right. So would love for you to check us out. If you are listening to this and you found this valuable, or you have some feedback, would love any like, subscribe, or review. Feedback helps me understand how I'm serving and helps me get better at it, and helps Google and all those good things say, hey, this is valuable content that may help people. So you're helping other people as well. All right. This is Courtney Rollins signing off, as I always do, saying rising tides, it lifts all sails. Cheers.